they'll vote on it next week. We'll see. And just remember, if 6 House Democrats pledged to vote against any COVID relief bill that didn't include a minimum wage, the entire dynamic would change. The entire city of Washington, D.C. would freak out, and the entire House would have to use all of the White House would have to use all its power to add a minimum wage into the bill. So there you go. He's not naming names, but he is doing that. He is. I'll tip the hat here, because these are
Alexa, make the lights dark.
Did you need new lights plural?
Yes. this music may be a little too high energy for this stream. We're going to be painting threads again today. So I have a retraction to make. I think in the last few streams I said how impressed I was with how the mapping of material IDs went, how accurate they were. And I guess I didn't look closely enough at them because I wanted to believe. But I was noticing that the colors were kind of washed out and they weren't what I wanted to get. And if we look here, this is the stuff that was projected as material IDs. I can't even think. I only got like 4 hours of sleep. I got kind of caught up in texturing this. So let me try to rephrase this. So the ID maps in ZBrush. This is what they baked out. I hadn't looked at them closely enough before to see how awful they were. So since the last stream, I've been once again painting them in by hand. This time doing a much better job of it, just because I realize now that I have no automated process to fall back upon. I'm gonna have to do this. If you want something done well, you gotta do it yourself. So I'm doing it myself. I'm making sure to do an extra good job this time because it doesn't look like technology is going to be able to save me. So I also created maps for I think you saw me finish up the leather maps, but I don't think I applied the materials at the end of last stream. And then I have a second leather type here applied to the shoulder pads. I'm kind of doing this all regardless of what I think may or may not show significantly once I get all the many plates of layers stacked up on each other. So that's where we're at. I'm going to have to redo the gauntlet and shin guard knots and threads as well, I think. So one of the many projects I hope to create, I want to get into doing a political channel. And I had several scripts lined up, but I haven't been able to commit them to paper yet. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of political ranting while I'm texturing. And don't worry, I think whatever your political persuasion is, we'll have more in common than not, so long as, I mean, there's really only 3 bits of criteria I have to like honor anybody's political discussion. Number 1, that you're intellectually consistent, intellectually honest, and have some sort of moral compass. So, whether you're Republican or Democrat, if you're anti-war, I'm going to hear you out. But I recently had a interesting political, it wasn't even a debate, because typically to have a debate you have to have facts on both sides, and it was kind of lacking in this instance. But I'm very cynical, and yet I still find myself being shocked by people, particularly with regards to the voter fraud in this last election. It's fascinating to me that the same people who for 4 years insisted in a completely evidence-free conspiracy theory that the Russians interfered with our election, that this election, the integrity, is just unquestionable. There's no doubt it was the most secure and honest election in the history of elections. Like I literally had a person say that any suggestion to the contrary was a conspiracy theory. Meanwhile, the 2016 election was undermined by Russian troll farms. So you can't rig an election through actual voter fraud, mail-in ballots, and that sort of thing. That's impossible. But Russian troll farms have that power. So I said, okay, Boomer, what's a troll? I don't know. Okay, Boomer, what's a troll farm? I don't know. Okay, Boomer, what's a meme? And what are the specific memes that these troll farms used? I don't know. Okay, Boomer, what was the outcome of the indictments of these Russian troll farms? I don't know. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but if I know absolutely nothing about anything, I tend to not make any claims to the contrary. It's pretty easy to be called out, right? So I'd ask myself, do I know what a troll is? Do I know what a troll farm is? Do I know what a meme is? Do I know what the memes were that were supposedly had the power to influence an election? Do I know anything about the indictment or the resulting court case? And I would say if I didn't know maybe half these things, I would just keep my mouth shut. But there are people who, despite not knowing anything about anything, will repeat official talking points. It's bizarre to me. No idea what a troll farm is. No idea what a troll is. No idea what a meme is. No idea what the memes were. No idea what the litigation was all about. The indictment, the result. Yet very confident that the troll farms influenced the 2016 election. And not only that, but apparently that's the only thing that has the power to influence elections illegally. Or illicitly. Because obviously memes aren't actually illegal or anything, whereas voter fraud would be. So, if I don't get to make a whole video to that effect on the topic, at least I was able to get that off my chest. But you really got to watch out for that sort of people, because they're more prevalent. I would never, as cynical as I am, perhaps years ago, I would never imagine, like I couldn't see myself speaking with authority using words I didn't even know what they mean. Like, of those 3 words, Russian troll farm, the only word he knew was Russian. And in his mind, Russian equals bad. And like that's all he needed to base his ideology on. Russia bad. It used to be that support of Russia was the most liberal thing you could do. What's the character in The Taming of the Shrew? Give me a moment. Katharina. These people are genuine Katharinas in that by the end of the play, they can be convinced of anything. So, for example, Biden promised $2,000 checks. He said $2,000 explicitly. Nowhere on the campaign trail did he say $1,400. Nowhere on the campaign trail did he say $1,400 plus $600. In the tweets the Democrats sent out, the pictures on the checks, the text on the checks said $2,000. Nowhere did it say $1,400 plus $600. And yet, they've been able to convince the more gullible of their constituents that it was always going to be $1,400. You already got your $600. Stop complaining. Other countries, let's take France for example, they get $7,000 a month. Not a one-time check. A month. Oh no, it was always going to be and to hear a relative be so browbeaten that they're willing to say the sky. What is it in the shrew? At the end, she agrees to be compliant, agrees that the sky is green and not blue. I mean, it really is pathetic to be so whipped, to be conditioned into such, compliancy and subserviency that you're willing to admit one objective number is a different objective number. It's sad and it's pathetic and it's it really upsets me that, I wouldn't be friends with people who were that easily manipulated. And to think that, a family member can be conditioned like a dog to be that compliant, to where they're denying objective reality, because their masters told them to. It's heartbreaking. I've been watching a lot of Jimmy Dore show, which is Jimmy Dore is a comedian. He's a progressive. He attacks primarily the Democrats from further left. So he's basically a progressive calling out fake progressives. And it's a brilliant show. And then another one I'm very much enjoying is Viva Frei, who's a Canadian attorney who talks a lot about the legal issues involved in a lot of the headlines. And he has a brilliant civil rights attorney on. He's actually a tax attorney, but he does a lot of, from what I can tell, he does a lot of civil rights cases. And his last name is Barnes. I don't remember what his first name is, but you can listen to those two shows and alone and be more informed than 90% of the public. Because it's not like if you're listening to corporate media news that you're being informed, you're purposely being misinformed. And that's not a conspiracy theory. Like, do you believe the official narrative surrounding the Kennedy assassination, or do you believe in physics? Because they're mutually exclusive. Either there was a magic bullet, literally magic, and that it did not observe the rules of physics, or you believe there was more than one shooter, which is contrary to the official narrative. So you either believe what the news told you, or you believe in science. You can't believe in both at the same time. They're mutually exclusive. And then what about the Tonkin incident? Do you believe it was a real thing or a false flag? Now in the 60s, if you had said it was a false flag, you would have been labeled a conspiracy theorist. But, of course, we now know that it was a false flag. Did you believe Reagan when he said no arms for hostages? That was the official narrative. Once again, that was a lie. Did you believe the war on drugs was really about the war on drugs? Or Central American imperialism? Did you believe Bill Clinton when he said he didn't have sex with that woman? That was the official narrative. Did you believe Bush when he said there was... And the media. The media is complicit in every one of these lies. Did you believe Bush when he said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction? If you didn't, you were a conspiracy theorist at the time. Now, of course, the opposite is true. If you believe that there were weapons of mass destruction, you're just stupid. There weren't any. But it always takes you like 20 years to be vindicated. Did you believe the most batshit crazy conspiracy theory ever conceived? That the president was a secret Russian agent? Seriously, if this was a movie plot, you'd walk out on it. And the same boomer, adamant about the Russian troll farms, said, "Oh, the Mueller report concluded that You can't indict a sitting president. Well, yeah. That's specious. It's a non sequitur. It's semantics. Because on page 2 they said they found no collusion. So whether or not you can indict a sitting president becomes moot at that point, because on page 2 of the report it says they found no evidence of collusion. And of course, what would an idiot say? An idiot would say, well, just because they didn't find any evidence doesn't mean there wasn't any. And that's true of anything, you know. We didn't find any evidence that Ben Franklin was a vampire. But that's not to say he wasn't. It's kind of like disproving a negative. Did you believe Epstein killed himself? Because that's the official narrative. So just to recap, magic bullet theory, that was a lie. Gulf of Tonkin, that was a lie. War on drugs, that was a lie. No arms for hostages, that was a lie. Didn't have sex with that woman, that was a lie. Weapons of mass destruction, that was a lie. President is a Russian spy, that is a lie. Epstein killed himself, that was a lie. There's a pattern here. Every major news story of consequence. Oh, I forgot. The gas attacks in Syria, that was proven to be a lie too. Every major news story of consequence, for as long as there's been news in this country, the official narrative has always, without exception, been a lie. So, an intelligent person would reject the last 50 years of official narrative, all those lies. How do you go from rejecting all those lies, but then believing the latest lies? Like, there's no historical precedence for... Literally, if you want to get at the truth, you have to assume that the media is lying. And if you assume that the media is lying, you're right 100% of the time. For all the major news stories of consequence, especially those which revolve getting us into war. There's a phenomenological I don't know how to best phrase this. Do you know how children have trouble with object permanence. There are adults who think that if they don't research the facts, they don't look for answers, then the answers don't exist. The same way how if you hide like a bottle from a baby, the baby thinks the bottle doesn't exist. And they'll purposely keep the truth out of sight and out of mind, and be convinced as a result that it doesn't exist. People never fail to disappoint. Part of it is some people are so desperate to belong that they'll say, do, and believe anything just to feel included in a group. And a lot of these groups, political groups, they would have nothing to do with you unless you were a useful idiot. And so people fashion themselves into useful idiots so that they can belong. You'll notice this time around I'm drawing on the model itself rather than the UV map, and that's because I tend to get a better sense of volume here where the edges begin and end. That being said, I just screwed it up. All right, now that I've finished up this quadrant, I'm going to take a quick break. We're an hour in just about anyway, so it seems like a good time. Be right back. Oh, I'm back. I should make that apparent. And by apparent, I mean remove the translucency. I was trying to make a play on words there with transparent, but it would have been kind of inaccurate and forced there. Wow, we haven't really made too much progress in an hour and a half, right? I mean, I did take a little bit of break there, but it's scary how long this is taking. Because, of course, I kind of hate to be morbid and keep harping on this, but I do frame things, and the context here is terminal illness, right? And here I am spending probably 4 hours and coloring in threads. Please, please let this game be successful. Ah. You know what I was happy to notice today? I didn't really look at it too closely. I'm going to now, just because I'm kind of getting bored here. I changed the hardware on this computer, and it's asking me to. I'm trying to hide the taskbar, but of course you can't do that unless Windows is activated. I activated it, but I changed my motherboard, and now it is asking me to activate it again. I do have Display Fusion. I wonder if I can get Display Fusion to hide the taskbar. Uh, there's a number of taskbar options here, but none for hide taskbar. I can change the opacity here. That does not seem to be responding the way I want it to, though. What I'm trying to do is see, there used to be like a black line of bad pixels. I'm not really seeing it anymore, so I wonder, like, it's kind of crazy to think that it would just clear up, but that appears to be what has happened. What if I move the taskbar to the side? Whoa. I'll check it out later. I guess I'm just kind of stalling. Do. In my YouTube notifications, I'm seeing a lot of spam for porn. For some reason, I mean, they're obviously not legitimate comments, but they try to make them seem legitimate by like inserting a time signature. But then the following portion of the comment is just a link to a porn site. So like, why even bother linking to a portion of the stream? Why include a time signature? Like, it's not even, they're not even like, good stream, I agree, you know, to make it seem semi-authentic, you know, like they do in like some of the WordPress spam. They're like, this is a great blog, I totally agree. And then link to like Russian brides. Here they don't even do that. But they include a time signature. I'm baffled. So I got, here's what's happening today. I only got like 4 hours of sleep. I cleaned up my room. I have no, the reason why it was a mess, ostensibly, was because I was doing some cable management and I have to shuffle around all my toolboxes because I have so little room in here, and shuffle around my medical cart and stuff. But I didn't like any of the ways cable management turned out. I had these like neoprene sleeves, and as long as the cable run is absolutely straight, it looks good. But as soon as it has to go through any sort of bends, it piles and bunches, and it looks worse than just zip tying a bunch of black wires together. So I undid all of that, and the only thing I really added to the rig is a new USB hub. So I don't know why my room turned into an absolute disaster area. Because I really didn't do all that much. Like, I went through my entire supply of zip ties, it was probably like 200. But my cables are none neater for the effort. So I don't know. But it's relatively clean. The one thing I was able to make progress on was I had a bunch of like M3, M4, M5 hex bolts in like 5 different packages, and I bought a Plano container and combined everything from the plastic containers they shipped into the Plano containers, and everything's nice and neat and in order. And it's not really an organizational thing, it's more of a space saving thing. Again, I have so little space in this room that being able to consolidate 5 or 6 plastic trays of nuts and bolts into one Plano container actually makes a marked quality of life improvement, just in terms of not having to, because even those things, like, there's so little surface area in this room, I have to keep moving those tiny nuts and bolt packages around anytime I want to utilize a surface. So I got that done. That was a pleasant chore, consolidating tiny nuts and bolts. What else happened today? My second in the series of 3 Leanne Lee cases arrived. So what I'm going to have to do there is, I got to get rid of my unibrow too here. So I got to take the second Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here. User error, more likely. So I have to take the second Bitphoenix Prodigy case and empty its contents into the Lian Li. And even though I paid the same price for the second one is used, whereas the first one was new old stock. And when I picked it up, it was rattling, which is a bad sign. And I didn't really look at the pictures on Craigslist. I bought it off Craigslist from a different city. I didn't look at the pictures carefully enough to see if it had all the bays and all the doors and all the whatnot. I did find Silver PCs is still in business, and they still have extra Lian Li PC60 doors. However, the make and model PC60 doesn't really mean too much to Lian Li, because you can find cases marked Lian Li PC60 that have a blowhole in the top, that don't have a blowhole in the top, that have perfectly flat side panels, that have side panels with handles. The front bezel may be different. The input-output may be in different places. And to satisfy my OCDs, they really have to be identical. So I'm a little bit worried to look into it, but I'm going to do that. I think... Oh, my headphones just died. Why does that mean that? Oh no, the desktop light. Okay, so it's just in the middle of songs. Yep, looks like the songs are back, but not for me. All right, so let's see if I can. Oh, I don't have my Elgato thing plugged in. Alright, so I'm charging my headphones, and perhaps I'll do some gaming after this. I kind of want to get back into Black Ops. I don't think I've played it all this week. But the event schedule kind of commits me... Oh, the event schedule actually commits me to Nintendo 3DS XL, which I haven't tested out in terms of seeing if it will portray the red-blue 3D properly as promised. I'm just going to have to sleep less over the weekend to get things done. always a risk asking if anybody's there in chat, because that's going to survive the live stream and live on in sad infamy if nobody is there. All right, we're gonna be able to finish up just the front side of the threads here. What is my life? What is it? I think I need to cool down a little bit with some Jurassic Park. I think that's what I'll play. By the way, guys, I have in mind the world's greatest intro that I'm going to work on at some point. Some point this month. I promise I'll have it done by this month, so that it requires a green screen, so I'm not going to be able to afford that this month. Do. 10 minutes. Whoa. We've got 3 more to do. Can we get it done? How many are these? So there's 8 by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 88. So it's taking me about 2 minutes to do each of these. I wonder if Alexa can do a stopwatch. I'll ask her. By the way, let's lighten the load here a little bit. I have found that there is an open source Raspberry Pi version Stream Deck. Alexa, start a stopwatch.
Alarm for what time?
No, a stopwatch. Alexa, start a stopwatch.
Alarm for what time?
Okay. However, a 7-inch, you can't really get away with a 3.5-inch. Can you? What is the Elgato Stream Deck Mini? What size is that? The largest dimension there is 3.3 inches. So you could conceivably get away with a 3.5-inch display for your Raspberry Pi and have a minimally functional Stream Deck. But the next cheapest monitor, where you're kind of getting the best bang for your buck, is the official 7-inch touchscreen for the Raspberry Pi. It's the official one, and that costs about $70. So, what, a Pi 4 is up there. It's still, I'm just comparing prices here. So 15 key Elgato Stream Deck. Is not available. It was available just yesterday. What's the dimensions on the 15 key one? It's about 5 inches. So the 15 key is probably comparable to the 7-inch official touchscreen monitor for the Raspberry Pi. So the 15 key official Elgato one is $172. 7-inch monitor for the Pi is $70 or $80. And then what does a Pi 4 cost these days? Oh my God. $60. I can't. I didn't pay that much even when it first came out. Let's go to Vil Ross. Raspberry Pi 4. $75. So even for the open source Raspberry Pi Stream Deck, you're gonna pay around $150 before taxes. That's just $25 cheaper than the Elgato deck. And the Elgato deck has, tactile buttons, which can be a make or break for $25. So the only real advantage is you have a Raspberry Pi that can potentially do other things, or you can repurpose it later. I already have a Pi 4 in storage somewhere waiting for me, so I wonder if you could power the Stream Deck with Zero. I don't know. So the only added expense at this point now is just the monitor, which is about, like I said, let me double check though. $70, no case. Chris, how you doing? I was worried they shadow banned me because I was talking politics at the beginning of the stream. Look at all this mask I missed. Not too bad. I had a political argument earlier today. What was I talking at the beginning of the stream? I was talking to somebody who they were claiming that any talk of election fraud in this election was, crazy conspiracy theory. But I reminded them that previously they had claimed that Russian troll farms had influenced the 2016 election. And I said, okay, Boomer, what is a troll farm? They didn't know. What is a troll? Didn't know. What's a meme? Didn't know. What are the particular memes that these troll farms use? Didn't know. What was the deal with the indictment of the troll farms? And what was the result of those cases? Didn't know. So it was one of those conversations. And, personally, if I didn't know what a troll was, or what a troll farm was, or what a meme was, or what the particular memes were, or what the court cases were all about, or what the resolutions of the court cases were, I wouldn't go around repeating talking points that, I just had no substantive knowledge of the facts. But that's just me. So you can see how crazy long this process has been. I took a closer look at the ID maps that I generated in ZBrush, and they were absolutely garbage. So I'm having to do all the threads by hand again. I've already painted them by hand once, so you can see this is this is what ZBrush generated. And when I had just the material selected, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, why are the colors all washed out? Yeah, that's the terrifying, this is the America of today is unthinkable 20 years ago, that people would have to self-censor themselves just to be able to use what are essentially public utilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the World War II vets they're rolling over in their graves. I plan to move everything to alternate platforms pretty soon. I'm just about to hit 1,000 subscribers, which is a pretty big milestone for me. And then I'm gonna burn it all down and move to Rumble. I can't believe that I missed all these spots. I think I must have scribbled over them accidentally somehow. I wonder if I have to turn on backface masking or something. anyways, pretty shortly I'm gonna shut this down, and because I've been working pretty steadily for a couple of days now. I only got like 4 hours of sleep and was right back at it. But I'm gonna shut this down and start playing. Yeah, I mean it used to be an American ideal. I might not agree with what you say, but I'll defend your right to say it. And that seems to not be the ethos anymore. So I'm going to start playing Jurassic Park in a few minutes is what I was going to say. Hopefully you can join me for that. I haven't tried to get Steam working in a while, and I'm seeing now that my Elgato still isn't plugged in, so I don't know what its status is in terms of all the wires and the nest of wires in the back of my desk. Look how bad that projection was. So let's take a final look at what we've accomplished. I darkened the armor a little bit, and I reddened some of the leather. So we finally got all the front threads done, and they're looking good. I'm probably going to do the I saw a short documentary on this type of chainmail before. I think it's called mountain armor. It's or mountain mail or whatever. It's primarily a Chinese pattern, but the idea is to tell a story here and make his armor eclectic and kind of reflect the fact that he was originally a pirate. There's a website, there's a couple, but the only other one that's geared to getting creators paid is a site called Rumble, and I learned about it from a YouTube show featuring a Canadian lawyer who kind of goes over the legalese and all the headlines and all the legal angles, and he has brilliant tax attorney on. His name is Barnes. I don't know his first name, but he also acts, as far as I can tell, as a civil rights lawyer too, and is absolutely brilliant. And they kind of dissect the headlines from a legal perspective. And if they want to be serious about discussing politics, they have to violate YouTube's policies, and so they're preparing to move over to Rumble, and that's kind of where I found out about it. So I tell you what, what do you think about it though so far? I'm colorblind, so if you have any color suggestions at any point, please let me know. I think I'm going to go with sort of instead of, there's supposed to be kind of a tiger theme going on here, but orange is a little too on the nose and not particularly aesthetically pleasing. So I'm kind of going with a blood red and black color scheme. And then things like the chest decorations and the mask will be gold. The katanas will feature gold. So gold and red kind of stand in for the orange of the tiger. And then the black, of course, black stripes. And I found a embroidery generator on ArtStation. So I'm going to make the pants kind of look fancy. There's a wave pattern that is present in the hilt of the katanas and the chest decoration. And I'm going to carry that pattern through on the pants. So I think over the next few days, I'm going to create masks for these. The socks, obviously shouldn't be metallic. The hands are going to be easy because they're separated. The mesh is separated. Actually, I say they're going to be easy. It looks like you can kind of scribble outside the lines because there's nothing there, but actually there's kind of like a warp zone at the edge where if you color out of the side of the lines, it actually picks up on the alternate side of the mesh. Leather bracelet, patch here, mountain armor, and then I think the pants will be pretty fun to do, so I'm going to do those last. But yeah, what do you think? All right. Huh. Daredevil. I hadn't thought of that before, but yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna end this portion of the stream. I'm gonna see if I can set up Jurassic Park. Play that for the next 2 hours. If I can't get Jurassic Park working, I'm going to play COD. So, I hope you can join me for those. Shiny. Save. Exit. It's asking me to save again. I know I just did, but I'm terrifying. I'm terrified of potentially losing anything, so to assuage my OCDs, I'm going to save again. Close it out. And I'll be back. Thanks, Chris, for joining me. I forgot, I have not looked at Cinema 4D, by the way. Alright, see you in 5 minutes if you're going to stick around. Bye.
Bienvenue au centre de la découverte. Il se rencontre technologie et préhistoire.
Testing, testing.
テクノロジーが戦士時代に出会う場所、イノベーションセンターへようこそ。Добро пожаловать в Центр инноваций, где высокие технологии открывают и преображают бесчеловечный мир.
Hopefully the audio sounds okay.
Bienvenidos al Centro de Innovación, donde la tecnología se encuentra con la prehistoria.
Not sure why it's in Spanish.
Welcome to the Innovation Center, where technology meets creativity.
return to Isla Nublar with a sense of excitement and dread. This is where I experienced some of the greatest accomplishments of my life. And tragically, my most regrettable failures. But I've learned so much since then. About the dinosaurs, about this island, and about myself. So, welcome back. This time we do better, and when we leave on our terms.
Oh my God. Everything's falling over. Alright, your mission. Rescue and relocate the dinosaurs. Welcome to Jurassic World, or what's left of it. This time you're not here to build a park, you're here to save the dinosaurs. It's imperative that they're relocated to Sanctuary as soon as possible. The eruption of Mount Sibo is a very real threat. But before you can move them, you must ensure the dinosaurs are fit for travel. Unfortunately, every animal on the island seems to be afflicted with an unknown sickness. Find the source, develop a cure, and save the dinosaurs. The world is watching. I have forgotten what buttons do what here. And so far, my controller is not responding. Give me a moment. A to continue. Yes, I have done that. Alright. It seems to be recognizing that I'm using a controller if it's asking me to press A. It looks like it's set up to use either or simultaneously. So, okay, now we have controller control.
Both know why we're here. It's time to save these animals. But we can only succeed if we work together. Let's get started. Okay. We've been given a limited budget to get this operation up and running.
All
First,
coming back to me.
We need to restore the power. Nublar's existing power network should suffice once it's operational, but we won't have the capacity to extend it.
Don't mind me, Miss Deering. I'm here to observe and report. Oh, and make sure the Foundation's investment isn't being misused, even if it is limited. I may also occasionally offer my trademark witty interjections and winning smile.
Where's the paddock? We want this. Well, it's all nearby, right? So we can put it right here. Oh, is that an earthquake? What's going on? Let's see if we can bump up the display here. I know my graphics card can handle this, but I don't know if it's going to break the stream. Let's, hi Chris. Let's test it out. Everything still looks a little fuzzy and weird. Buildings look a little better now. Unless I'm just imagining things. So, I've looked around and it looks like there is not a power station to be found. I don't know why they're indicating I should build it all the way out here. I'm just going to build it here. Where's the power? Oh, no. Okay, so it's been a while. Oh, I bet the lightning bolt has something to. Oh, but it can't. I can't select the lightning bolt. Why? Did I spend too much money already? Oh, control a ranger station to. But how can I do? Oh, well, let's hook up the road first and see what happens. This is Jurassic World Evolution. It's basically SimCity but with dinosaurs, and it's awesome. Control a ranger team to repair the grid and power station. But the ranger station is not operational without power, so it's kind of a catch-22 here, huh? Or can you control them manually even when there's no power? There's a lot of earthquaking going on. Yeah, Jurassic Park Evolution. Oh, I didn't realize we had another visitor. How you doing, Hassan? So there's our first encounter with dinosaurs.
Returning
Why?
to this island brings back so many memories.
Why can't I drive it? What's
Not
going
all of them
on?
bad, mind you. We did a lot of great work on Isla Nublar. Simon was
Oh,
one
I
of
found the
them.
pedal.
He was a good man. He realized John Hammond's vision. A dream. Before it became a nightmare. In a strange way, this feels like coming home. I started here as an intern a lifetime ago. We gave the dinosaurs a second chance. Well, here I am, getting one myself, even as Isla Nublar explodes into chaos. I said that I'd never come back here.
Lady.
Down, I knew I would.
What?
Isla Nublar. I am forever linked to this island.
Okay.
And to the events that showed us who really was in charge.
We've all seen the movie.
This time, we can make it right. Or at least better.
This driving is not great.
Control reassigned.
And I'm not here for me. I'm here for them.
Okay,
The dinosaurs.
lady.
They're still my responsibility. And now, they're yours as well. Together we can show the world how important these prehistoric animals are to our future.
Oh boy. Alright, no problem. Hope to see you soon. I'm not making too much progress yet. Now that the thing is unstuck, I can drive it again. Because I don't think you can task it automatically when power's out. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. Oh, gotta fix this one. It's been a while since I played this game, so I'm gonna be bad at it for probably the first 2 hours. How am I supposed to get through here? I cannot see these rocks. So far, this is the least amount of fun I've had playing this game. Are they trolling me with these rocks? Are these like supposed to be like a natural impediment? You're not supposed to go in through this area? I have my pedal to the metal and it's stuck on a tree root. This is a Jeep. Be a Jeep. Oh my god. What am I stuck on? There's nothing here. It looks like I have ferns stuck in the wheel well. This is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I can't drive over a plant? So here's the next. Well, that one's okay. So, in a game about dinosaurs and building and stuff, you can't go through the jungle. You gotta go around. There will be no jungle exploration whatsoever in this game. Got it. Yeah, I think I'm not allowed to go there, but again, that's kind of, frustrating in the era of open world games. This one broken? No. Cool looking volcano in the background there. Let's get out of the Jeep and look around. See if I missed anything here. So the rumblings, I'm guessing, are not the results of earthquakes, but the volcanic eruption, the impending kaboom. Alright, so there's the next one. Where are we again? Oh. Here from the University of People video, huh? Yeah, I wish it weren't bad, you know? It would be great if there was a free university out there that could provide people with both an education and a valuable degree, you know? But unfortunately, that's not the case. I wish there was some sort of alternative. Like, it's weird that there's self-learning options online that are better than an online university, like Khan Education, or Khan Academy rather. Sites like those. It would be great if at the end of Khan Academy you could get a degree or something, but whee! But yeah, you're welcome. I wish I had somebody to warn me when I first applied.
All right, you've got the power back online. Now we need more facilities in place to continue our work.
Does a coffee machine work now? Finally. That was the longest I've been without caffeine since 1993.
Alright. Construct a suitable base of operations, including ACU Center and Research Center. So we're going to let them return to base on their own. And I'm going to fly there. All the dinosaurs are sick. All right, ACU Center. Here we go. This is the helipad. Where's the path? All right, so I'm gonna rotate it. There's a dinosaur in my way. half this game is just getting the lots as close as possible. Huh. It's nice to see that the dinosaurs are using the walkways. Oh, that path doesn't match the same color as the other path. I'll replace them all eventually. Alright, does it have power? It does. Let's take a look. I like that in a lush tropical island you have to have plant feeders for the dinosaurs. That makes sense. What is this? Operation Center 2. Alright, what's next? Research Center. We gotta knock out some of these sidewalks here. Sorry, Stegosauruses. You'll have to walk on the grass. How do I bulldoze stuff? Oh, with the bulldozer. It's been a while. That's all I can say in my defense. Why are there visitors to this obviously unfinished sanctuary? What were you guys expecting coming here? Why is it obstructed? Is it the pylon? What? You're kidding me. That's bizarre. Alright, where's a better place for the... Research Center. So that's out of bounds. I'm not allowed to demolish this either. Alright, I'm taking too long.